That sound could mean a lot of things. And when something's going wrong at home, the hardest part can be figuring out what the problem actually is. At Thumbtack, you can upload a voice message or a photo, and our AI-powered search will help diagnose your project. Plus, the pros we know have over 14 million five-star reviews, so you can hire with confidence. Thumbtack, we know homes. Hire the right pro today.
It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NBA.
It's unbelievable, tip, how he had to control it and tip it in from. I mean, like I said, that has to be the most iconic shot in the history of New York basketball. I mean, I'm not you guys know better than me, but it was just unbelievable.
Right hand from God.
Yeah.
Right hand to God. I mean, that's OG, though.
Yeah, he been doing it this whole playoff run. Shout out to him for crashing the board and doing something special,
Man, that's what every time we in the game with OG, third quarter, second quarter, whatever, he may not be feeling like he's playing his best. Every time I talk to him, I say, I already know what OG Anunoby's going to do in the fourth quarter.
There's the Knicks head coach Mike Brown, Jose Alvarado, and Karl Anthony Towns talking about the tip-in. The most iconic play in the history of Knick basketball, PK. Certainly given the stage it was on, Game 4 of the NBA Finals, that gives it an advantage over other big plays that have happened along the way. But prisoner of the moment there, or you got something from your Jersey days?
Man, 1970, Game 7. Knicks and Lakers tied.
Willis Reed limps onto the floor.
That's by far.
It's not a play, but it's a moment.
Sure, it's a basket. He made a basket.
Oh, okay, when he made the basket.
What do you mean it's not a play?
I always think of the limping on the floor story.
Well, you're
out there.
That adds to
moment.
the basket. The guy was playing on one leg. Remember Donovan Mitchell? He played on one leg.
Okay, you need to stop.
In the second round.
Stop making that noise.
Well, that's what you all did, and I'm thinking, gosh, what Donovan Mitchell? I got Willis Reed coming in. Oh, against Wilt Chamberlain. Who did Donovan Mitchell do it against? Terrence Mann? He's the author in the Field of Dreams. No offense. And who did OG? He did it Big Vic was 5 feet behind him. Willis Reed, the captain. Get some history, Mikey. What are you talking about? My goodness. And Willis, I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror 20 years later and say I wish I had tried to play. He received painkiller injections in his thigh and then limped to the court during warm-ups. The crowd erupted. The same building, no less. You people. My goodness. And he pestered Chamberlain into multiple missed shots. Get out of town. This is the best. Yes.
OG has.
And he only had 4 points and 3 rebounds in the game.
OG has been stepping up here in the playoffs. He was 16-5 guy during the regular season and 21-9 now.
Oh, he's the MVP so far.
Yeah,
it's not over yet.
It's not, but he's crushing it here in this series for sure. Game 5's tomorrow night in San Antonio. The video is going viral if you haven't seen it. The fan throwing the egg at Victor Wembanyama. How fired up will Big Vic be with the season on the line?
This is the one time you can say he had egg on his face.
See, there you go. The cliche, life imitates art.
This is not a cliche.
It is not a cliche.
It is literal.
Off-day media availability, Darren Fox, what were you thinking? I thought I'd be able to outrun him, Fox said when asked about the play. That's it. As explanations go, that was good. Don't give me some long, convoluted thing. I thought I was going to be able to beat him to the hoop. I didn't. He blocked the shot. He should have dribbled away, but, hey, you make a decision in the moment. It isn't always the right one. Certainly a lot of us were second-guessing as it happened, but
Well, time is more important than score in that point. So even if he makes the layup, it's still a one-possession game.
It's a one-possession game because he puts the league at 3. They hit a 3. Now,
and
it's
get
hard
fouled, they win the game. Make the free throw.
See? Oh, speaking of that, we had so much to get to. I didn't get to. Are you sick of the flopping? Is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander watching this series?
10 years ago?
Right. Is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander thinking, why is everyone picking on me? Carl Anthony Towns flinging him.
Wait, now he's a victim?
Flinging himself into the bench when he gets fouled on the three-pointer. Well, he thought he did. A little guy can't hit Carl Anthony Towns and send that big dude flying 7 feet into the bench. Come on. Physics doesn't work. The flopping's everywhere.
I agree.
All right, the game is tomorrow night, 6:30, but people are still talking trades. They're still talking draft. The latest mock draft from Kevin O'Connor at Yahoo Sports projects the Jazz taking Cameron Boozer with a second pick in the draft. That would line up with what you were telling us about Bill Simmons thinking, Danny Ainge is thinking wing. He's thinking wing. So Kevin O'Connor lines up with that.
I've known Kevin O'Connor for a long time. I didn't know he was in the draft business. I thought he retired.
Not that Kevin O'Connor. There's more than one Kevin O'Connor.
Well, he is the Kevin O'Connor.
This is Yahoo Sports Kevin O'Connor, not former Utah Jazz
Yahoo
executive
Sports
Kevin O'Connor.
Does he have a level of credibility?
He does. He's been around for a while doing this kind of stuff because I heard that name and got confused and thought what you thought and had to Google it and find out, yep, see, that's two different guys, same name.
You have to. You chose to Google it.
No, I had to. I had a physical need.
I didn't feel like I had to. Uh-huh. No, I know he's not the same guy. And what is his reasoning behind it? We heard and we explained and we amplified what Bill Simmons was saying, not just throwing something out there. Bill Simmons went and had some reasoning, his reasoning. He wasn't saying necessarily it was fact, but he was giving an explanation as to why he said what he said. Does Kevin O'Connor say anything as to why he's predicting this?
Why don't we get into that in our next segment? We're going to talk draft. We got a David Locke question up there, so we'll do that as part of the.
God willing, I'll be here.
I think you will be. Other story we need to get into: the Celtics willing to make Jaylen Brown available in any Giannis trade. So hold on to that as well. We got plenty of NBA stuff to get to. DJ and PK.
#NFL.
The relationship is great. Miss D, Jimmy, they were at my wedding. We talk all the time. He calls me whenever. It happens and things like that. One of my favorite baseball players that I've been watching is Bryce Harper. Sometimes he swings, but he stands back up and he gets another opportunity and he hits home run. So you never know what the opportunity might show up, and that's what I have right now.
Okay, I am now a Deshaun Watson big fan.
Because?
He's using baseball as an analogy. Bryce Harper, kid that I saw at 12 years old.
Use baseball analogies. Pull PK into your column.
Yes.
I'm lining up behind this guy and I'm following him.
He's following baseball.
There's a lot of baseball
stuff going on in
there.
his life.
Yeah. He was asked about criticism of or any conflict with Browns owner Jimmy Haslam and Deshaun Watson, whether this is just coming from him or whether he's been coached on it or whatever. Deshaun Watson's not in a place where he should be putting other people on blast. He's had enough issues. He's had enough problems. Hey,
I don't care about any of that.
Try to get along with people.
It's all going forward.
Yeah.
He's going to follow Bryce Harper, who's one of the most intense players in all of sports.
Bryce Harper brings a football mentality to baseball. The amount of times you see Bryce in the dugout playing with sunflower seeds, putting gum on the back of somebody's cap or whatever. You blow a bubble.
He
you
makes
stick on the back
Kirk Gibson look like a sissy.
He does. Kirk Gibson is a giggly little kid. He's soft compared to Bryce. Looks like he's ready to come out of the dugout and fight somebody who's charging the mound or something.
He's there to play ball.
Yeah.
That's it. And he's there to win. So, yeah, absolutely, man. And now I hope Deshaun Watson gets his life in order. I guess he got married. He said the guys were at his wedding, and it's straight, and he has an opportunity to be healthy, and I hope he balls out.
There was a time, believe it or not, before all of the problems and all of the troubles and all of the accusations, all of the lawsuits and just all of the negativity, there was a time he was a dominant college quarterback, and early in his NFL career, it looked like the arrow was up. And
the arrow's still up. I'm not living in the past.
Yeah.
Let's look ahead.
It's been, I don't know, 4 years now?
You're still living in the past.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Time to get at least current. If you don't want to look to the future, how about
Well, we'll see
today?
if he can win the Browns starting job. They've got a bunch of quarterbacks there.
They're going to have 15 of them, but he will.
And they better, whoever's going to seize that job better hurry up and seize it, because otherwise Cleveland's going to be in that quarterback draft pool next year. Finding the next big thing. Broncos gave Coach Sean Payton a new 5-year contract. That seems like a no-brainer. He has come into Denver, turned things around. Seems like the arrow is up there in his 3 years on the job there. Wide receiver Jalen Coker, the Panthers, 3-year, $35 million contract extension, and the Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs denied parole nearly 5 years after the fatal crash. He is still in prison and is going to remain there for a while. Bucs head coach Todd Bowles backing Baker Mayfield as a long-term quarterback in Tampa Bay amid contract talks. Baker wants to be paid. See how big a raise he wants. He's in the mid-30 millions. Does he want up into the 40s or into the 50s with the top 10 quarterbacks in the league?
Well, I mean, he's got to
Remains to be
live.
seen. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
So this was a Big 12 executive board call, a select group of presidents. Kansas President Doug Girard is the head of it, and there are also presidents from Kansas State, Arizona, and BYU. They met with Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark and legal counsel from the Big 12. They discussed potential options on how to punish Texas Tech or Brendan Sorsby in the wake of this injunction. Generally speaking, I was told that the options that the Big 12 was expected to discuss would be something individual for Sorsby, an additional suspension. He's obviously going to be suspended for the first 2 games, or some kind of punishment for Texas Tech. This is complicated. They're going to have to tangle legally with both Jeffrey Kessler, the state attorney general, and obviously Cody Campbell, the Texas Tech mega booster who has endless millions. I've been told by sources that the tenor from the Big 12 is one of strategy and not emotion. The ADs made clear their emotions. It's unclear yet, Matt, if the Big 12 presidents are matching that emotion from the Big 12's athletic directors. There obviously were curse words and threats and such coming from that AD room, and there's a clear consensus in that room from the 15 other ADs. They don't want Brendan Sorsby to play this year.
That's Pete Thamel wrapping up the Big 12 executive meetings.
Once he said curse words, I knew Santiago was there.
Nice. And an incoming text for PK in 3, 2, and 1. I can get myself in trouble. I don't need help from you. Stop it.
Oh, yeah, Brian was there.
Did Santiago sit quietly and listen? Or was he leading the discussion? There were curse words. Well, Santiago took the lead.
I'm just kidding. And so the funny thing is, yeah, there were 15, and Texas Tech puts out a 20-minute video, 21 minutes. I listened to it. It was torture.
Good. I'm glad you listened to it.
I did.
That's torture.
And this is 9 o'clock. The hot game was over.
Were there any new?
It's an addiction.
Yes,
and they have restrictions on his phone.
Yeah.
This little boy that we have to take in, it is an addiction. I don't mock that. But the thing about it is, well, he never bet on his team. Well, wait a second. You're telling me it's an addiction, which it is. I got no problem with that. And you're saying, basically, we got restrictions on his phone, and he never bet on his team, so this will never happen again. But it's an addiction. Well, what do we know about addiction? Are you ever really cured? They're talking out of both sides of the mouth. It's an addiction, but we got it covered now over here. You can't have that both ways. It doesn't work. It's inconsistent. And if anybody in the history of the planet from going forward, if you have an addiction in gambling, go to Texas Tech, enroll as a student, because this is who we are. We take care of our own. Meanwhile, you go play and you win us football games. And if anybody else in the conference had done it, they would be one of the 15 saying, you gotta be kidding me. He can't play. He knows the rules. It's a joke.
And I thought he did bet on his team because I thought he did bet on prop bets on individual players.
He did not harm his team. He did not bet them to lose. They're coming up with every excuse. It's like Cody Campbell. Well, nobody boycotted Penn State. Yeah, they got a guy in prison and Paterno died, and he was fired. I mean, what are you talking about? There's all sorts of repercussions against Penn State that hurt the whole university.
Yeah.
And so here they put out a thing, and of course they have an in-house guy. They ought to have that lady Kennedy, the softball pitcher that they paid $2 million to lob those questions instead of the guy at the end of the table lobbing the questions. She knows how to pitch softballs, and so they ought to have her doing it. And it was 20 minutes of, oh, we love him, and he's one of us. Yeah, he got there in friggin' January, and, we got to do what's right. And then they quote something where he's in Houston, and Dakota Allen were a player that had a problem. As I understand it, the player left school and then came back. This kid isn't great. Keep him in your fold, nurture him, support him, but that doesn't mean he has to play.
Pay him.
You can still do the same thing without playing. You can be as magnanimous as you want, but you're going to play him because you want to win games. Just say it. Does he make us a better football team? Yes. Especially with Hammond out, and we don't know when he's going to return and what his condition is going to be in. And if Hammond was healthy, maybe we would not play Sorsby. Just tell us, man. He helps us win games, and we're going to support him. Family on 3, winning games on 1.
We're headed back to a courtroom, it feels like. That's what this feels like. The Big 12 will have their meeting.
Judge
They'll decide
Wapner,
what they do.
the People's Court.
Judge
Dun-dun,
Wapner.
dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun.
Now, see, Jake's out today. Alex is laughing at that, and I thought that reference would be too old. But I guess the classics never grow
you
old.
don't know,
You know
Al.
about Judge Wapner? The original judge?
I don't know. I was thinking more of
all
like
the other judges came like Judge Judy ripping off Wapner.
I was thinking of Judge Judy.
Wapner was the first.
Well, yeah, Judge Judy is Judge Wapner's daughter. Look it up.
Really?
Look it up.
No, you're just toying with me.
Look
See
it
if you can
up.
Get me to do it during the break.
Look it up.
What's her last name?
Judy. Her first name is Judge. You don't want to give her last name and have a bunch of creepos stalking her. She was a babe in that robe.
One more college football story, and it's a big one. Florida plans a $1.45 billion renovation to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, a.k.a. the Swamp.
I've been there.
You have been, and I want to ask you about that here momentarily. I'd just like to point out for anybody who says, well, this just can't go on. This keeps escalating, and this is just unsustainable. Well, if Florida can round up almost $1.5 billion, $1.45 billion to do the stadium, my guess is Florida can round up more money for NIL, and it can go on for a while. So maybe you and your school can't go on, but there are going to be some schools that can go on, and Florida seems to be at the front of that parade. $1.45 billion renovation of the Swamp. Was the Swamp run down when you were there? You were there with the Utes a few years ago.
Oh, you could tell it's an old stadium, yeah. I mean, you know. I've been in new ones, newer ones,
right,
brand new ones.
And you felt the age there?
Yeah,
the heat, the
really
humidity,
cool.
It's a little beat up, and they'll probably put in more luxury stuff, places to eat and all that, where they can charge people more money.
It reminded me of the old Stanford Stadium. Just this, in its size.
Okay. Yeah.
It just old, but
Stanford,
huge.
You're talking back when it was bleachers and a huge bowl before
they had a Super Bowl there.
Yeah.
I covered a game in Stanford before they remodeled it, covered a game in Stanford after they remodeled it. And you could tell, okay, this is I've been in the Rose Bowl, I've been in the Coliseum. And then they do
the
these
Coliseum's
updates.
been updated big time.
Yeah.
And the Rose Bowl has multiple times, too.
I was in the Rose Bowl last September, and compared to where I first went to the Rose Bowl in the 80s,
9 days.
you could tell it's I get it.
All right, well, Florida's got the deep pockets. They're not going to be out of money anytime soon. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
It'll be interesting now if Alonso gets one into the outfield. Very interesting. Pete hits it high and deep. Left field. There it goes. Pete Alonso sends it deep into the Baltimore night. What a shot. It made it onto the walkway in left field. Pete Alonso just sent a baseball where it just never goes.
Here's the pitch. Suzuki drives one in the air. Deep left field. It's got a chance. Grand slam home run. Seiya Suzuki with a granny.
Hanging slider from Feltner, and that's the hit the Cubs were needing.
2 outs in the 7th. The 1-2. Ripped in the air to right field, pretty deep. Walker back onto the track, at the wall, and it's gone! Juan Soto with a go-ahead home run in the bottom of the seventh has given the Mets a 5-4 lead.
And the Mets beat the Cardinals 5-4, the final score. You heard Pete Alonso going deep as the Orioles beat the Mariners 6-5. The Cubs get the big hit in a 9-3 win over the Rockies. Cubs avoid the sweep at the hands of Colorado. Cubs lose the series, though, and they've lost 8 of their last 9 series. They did split a 4-gamer in there with Pittsburgh. They got a whole pitching staff on the injured list, though, PK. They're onto their second staff here. They need to get some people healthy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's been they haven't won a series in a month and a half now. The big story, Shohei Ohtani exits early with left knee inflammation as the Dodgers beat the Pirates 8-6. Now, it's not supposed to be a big deal. There are reports after the game that he's expected to be back in the lineup today, and they can afford to take him out. Scored a bunch of runs early, and he had a home run. He was 2 for 2 with 2 walks and a homer. He had a day.
Well, it's June, and if he feels any tinge of pain.
Out. Get him healthy.
So, yeah, of course.
The Bees lose 7-4 in Reno. Back at it tonight. They won 2 of 3 to start the series. Game 4 in the 6-game series tonight. Tony Parks is on the call. They'll be on the air at 7:20 on 1280 The Zone. DJ and PK.
Hashtag RSL.
And incidentally, he and his opposite number, Hugo Bros, played against each other in the 1986 World Cup. Citole was caught out there, and there's a only goal for the Mexicans. Quiñones. Big goal. Alvarado's crossing. And there's the goal he was looking for. It's Raul Jimenez, and it's 2-0. A World Cup goal at last.
They've got to make it more intricate how they did before to try and get in the game.
Oh, it's a good run, a really good run. Surely it's the equaliser. And it's there. Hwang In-bom levels matters for South Korea.
The World Cup starts with Mexico shutting out South Africa 2-0. 3 red cards. 3 guys kicked out. Mexico gets the win at home. South Korea gave up an early goal on a long throw-in, but then scored twice and beat the Czech Republic. They beat Czechia 2-1. U.S. Opens play tonight. They play Paraguay in Los Angeles, 7 o'clock on Big Fox. Canada plays at 1 o'clock in Toronto against Bosnia.
You gonna have a watch party?
Herzegovina. No, I do not have a watch party scheduled. Probably should have. I didn't think that through.
Oh, yeah. Come on, you're the guy.
I know.
You should be having a thing down at the stadium.
Yep.
And you should be leading them.
Financial opportunity missed right there. Should have been a watch party.
Oh, here I am trying to make use people money. Hey, listen to that guy. You know, you try to do this, but you come off like a white guy trying to pronounce Polynesian names authentically.
Yeah.
When you say...
And you want to know why that is?
2-0.
I
you
don't like
have
that
to have some form of an accent. Straight white American dude who you are saying 2-0, they level it. No, use the terms that we use unless you're from there. It's like Kawafusi. I'm white guy. It's Kafusi. I don't know what to tell you. I can't pronounce it like that. It's the same thing. Stop it. It's 2-0. They tied the score. The game ended in a tie. It's not a draw. But if you're European and have some form of a British accent or what have you, or, you know, whatever accent's over there, you can do that. White guy from America, no.
When I was just starting out calling games, people were like, yeah, you have to watch the national announcers and do what they do and pick up on that. Yeah, and it's an English guy, and there's a goal, and he goes, Sublime. And I'm like, if I said Sublime after a goal, people would die laughing like Alex is right now.
You have to do it.
No, I don't. Go talk to Nate Dowell about it. He was there when it happened, and it still kills him. Yes.
Man, you would die, and it kills him. You got Alex dead. Now you got Nate Dowell dead.
It could have happened if I had yelled,
Man, you're
Sublime!
a violent person.
After
just
an
when you
Arso
say
goal.
2-0, it sounds stupid.
Sublime.
You can say Sublime all you want. 2-0 sounds stupid.
Every time
you
I say
don't need
Sublime,
to go that.
he starts laughing again.
You're not. If you say Sublime 15 more times, I promise you he won't laugh 15 more times.
We might, but
no, I guarantee. No, we got till 10 o'clock.
No,
we're okay.
No, we really don't.
Yes, we do.
You made another point in there somewhere. I was going to say something. I lost what it was under all of that.
Grow up.
No, there was something else in there. I can't remember. All right. So tonight, 7 o'clock.
White guys trying to pronounce Polynesian names as if they're Polynesian. No.
U.S. and Paraguay. Here we go.
There was an anchor in Phoenix and in L.A. She moved to L.A. when I there, and her name was Linda Alvarez. And she would blah, 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 blah.
KBC.
And then she'd go, Linda Alvarez. But she's Hispanic. She was Mexican, so she can get away with it.
Yeah.
Well, Fred Rogan, who was in Phoenix and also in L.A., he wouldn't have said, back to you, Linda Alvarez. No, he wouldn't have done that. You can't do that. Alex can get away with it. You can't.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
Ehlers takes a look. Svechnikov back up top. Chance for Gostisbehere. Svechnikov snaps, shoots, scores! There are the hands, and that's the magic of number 37, Andrei Svechnikov. And it's 2-1 Carolina, a power play goal. Into the Vegas zone. Drops here for Aho. Back to Gostisbehere. He's going to set it up. Side of the net. They score! Tick, tack, toe. Andrei Svechnikov's second power play goal. And it puts Carolina up 4-1 in Game 5. And this one is over. We don't get the official horn. Now we do. Carolina, 4-2 winners in Game 5. They take a 3-2 series lead. And we will talk to you in Sin City. I know they like gold out there, but a big piece of silver is waiting for Carolina.
All in one breath.
Vegas scored the first goal. They scored the last goal, but in between, Carolina scores 4 in a row, 2 of them on the power play. They're up 3-2. They got 2 chances now to clinch it and hoist the cup.
Well, they won't do it. The big story is Tortorella flew back to Vegas nude because he said, we'll be back here. We're just going to do it in a different order. I'm going to leave my clothes here. That's for sure. They'll be in the hotel. His own words.
His own words.
He's flying the friendly skies naked. He left his clothes there because he knows he's coming back.
Tortorella, not done yet. Game 6 is Sunday night.
He left his clothes there.
Yeah, there it is.
This team's been down. They were down into Utah. What's their faces? The Mammoth? And they came back. Don't count out Vegas.
More offseason moves coming. Darnell Nurse giving the Oilers short list of trade options. Got a couple guys on the block. We may have a couple more here soon. We'll see. DJ PK. That is what is trending. Sponsored by Shamrock Plumbing. No job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. When we come back, the question of the day, more on the NBA draft and the Yahoo prediction from Kevin O'Connor, the Jazz taking Cameron Boozer at number 2. We'll get to that next. Stay with us.
Thumbtack presents Tile Trouble. Every single time I use my sink, I make eye contact with the uneven grout on my kitchen backsplash. The crooked corners eye me, and I'm haunted by more tiling questions than I thought possible. What kind of pro can fix a backsplash? Can I replace one cracked tile, or should I replace them all? What if I just use Thumbtack? I can hire top-rated pros, read reviews, and compare prices with a tap, all on the app. Thumbtack knows homes. Download the app today.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top. This is Utah's best coverage of the Utes, Cougars, Jazz, and Mammoth. Here we go. From the guys who have been there for all the biggest moments in Utah sports history. You're listening to DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Question of the day, all about the draft. David Locke coming up at 8:30. AJ DeBonce's shooting ability. He shot 33% from 3 for BYU. As a comparison, Stephen Castle shot 27% from 3 during his one season at UConn. Is a concern over DeBonce's shooting justified? We're going to talk with David Locke about that coming up at 8:30. He'll be here 1 hour from now. You just pointed out, PK, in our last segment that this all could be a discussion about nothing as far as the Jazz are concerned. The number 1 pick still projected to be A.J. DeBonce, to Washington. Kevin O'Connor, Yahoo Sports, with his mock draft 8.0, and he has just moved Cam Boozer up into the number 2 spot, has the Jazz taking Boozer and leaving Darren Peterson for Memphis at number 3. And you were asking about the logic, he says, behind that. And it says here in his write-up here, I'm moving Boozer into this slot, and it's not based on any intel at all. It's a gut feeling based on history. And then he goes into a lot of the parallels of the same stuff Bill Simmons was talking about yesterday. Love the wings. He's done, Danny Ainge did something unorthodox before, and he says, you're telling me the Jazz front office, now led by Danny Ainge and Austin Ainge, will take Darren Peterson? He has the whole cramping saga. He missed 11 of 35 games, one of them against undefeated Arizona when he pulled himself 15 minutes before the game because of flu-like symptoms. He sits out the biggest game of his life, and he calls himself an antisocial loner. I don't buy it when the alternate choice is one of the greatest college freshmen in recent history, Cam Boozer.
Oh, I like Peterson even more if he's an antisocial loner.
These are your people?
Yes.
You go to big places and walk around the edge of the room collecting the people who aren't interacting with the other hundreds of people there?
Now that I know, I didn't know he called himself that.
PK on the edge of a ballroom somewhere chatting somebody up.
Sweet.
You're not interacting with the other 999 people. Are you an antisocial loner?
Yeah. I'm a bigger fan of Darren Peterson then. We got something in common. So I view myself as an antisocial loner. I spent a lot of time alone in my life. The biggest game of his life was the NCAA tournament. It wasn't Arizona. There's no such game. For a program like Kansas, there's no such program.
The regular season isn't. They've got
a game, I should say.
They got to win the NCAA tournament every year. That's their goal.
Yeah.
Certainly Final Four every year. They know they can't win it every year.
They're way high up there. We know that. So I would disagree on that. But, all those are factors into not taking him. So I understand that. Now, I don't know this, but it seems like he saw or listened to the Simmons thing that I listened to. And that
he's certainly drawing from that logic, without question.
So maybe that's in. I like, and I have no problem saying that he has no particular inside information to offer. That's fine. I mean, these are all just opinion things, and we all look at these mock drafts. We do it every year, and it's like we're addicted to it. We can't help it. What's the latest one? And he's had 8 of them, right?
Yep.
We used to do it with that old Chad Ford, guy who was a teacher at BYU Hawaii who did ESPN for a good while, and we would look at them, and particularly as it relates to the Jazz. It's actually easier this year. This is the easiest year with the mock drafts because they're drafting the highest.
Yeah.
So it's either going to be 1, 2, or 3.
Austin said that when he came on the air. Yeah. The permutations are, when you're drafting 8, 9, 10, there's lots of stuff that can happen in front of you.
Right.
And there's usually a big pool of players. And now,
so I have to admit, I haven't looked at the mock drafts as much this year because we know what the
top 4 looks like, and they're picking second.
Right.
And there doesn't seem to be any variation in the top 4. Those 4 are the 4, and they've broken away.
Yeah, maybe in the order now. Obviously,
the order
got a couple
could flip.
guys
The order
saying
could
Cam
flip.
Boozer.
Yeah.
And if it's Cam Boozer, I'm not a big grass is greener on the other side of the fence. And you're talking to a guy who's moved. Well, the first move from New Jersey to Phoenix, I was a kid, so I didn't really have a say. But then I moved to L.A. and I moved to here, and so I have moved around. So it's a little, well, wait a second, it's a little contradictory saying that I'm not a grass is greener kind of guy. And what I mean by that, as it relates to Boozer, Boozer's a really solid player, and if you're comfortable with him, you don't necessarily need to take that chance. Oh, the higher ceiling. What is wrong with a 20-10 guy that if you feel like he's going to be a high 70s, 75 game player a year, that's plenty good enough. And he's going to be there in the playoff. You need a bucket, and he can get you a bucket in the playoff. And so that's very solid. And those guys don't grow on trees either. So if you're thinking along those lines, I'm totally comfortable with that. On the other hand, I still insist through my own eyes watching him that I believe that Darren Peterson is the most skilled player in this draft right now. Now, I don't have the trained eye to the level of those guys have. I get that, and I certainly don't have the conversations that they have access to. I can hear stuff, but they can go direct to the source and see in his eyes and what they feel and what they think as far as that. So what their opinion is far more important than mine. If they have any trepidation, then don't do it. But it seems to me, Peterson, he's worth a shot. But, if they bomb, well, I don't lose anything. It's easy for me to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I want them to win. I like the Angels. I've certainly known the younger for many years. I feel like, we're not we're maybe casual friends. We're not close friends, but I can talk to him whenever and then maintain the relationship. So I want him to succeed on a personal level. I've got no problem saying that. But the fact is, if it doesn't, it's really no sweat off my back. I want them to succeed. So I can go along to Peterson one because I think he's the most skilled player.
I think the question you posed there at the start, it's not about, there's nothing wrong with picking Cam Boozer. If he turns out to be, I don't know, if he turns out to be Klay Thompson, right? Second best player on a championship team. But I think people look at him and think he can't be LeBron or Curry or the Joker or Giannis or whoever the best player in a title team.
Can anybody in this group do it? You don't know that.
You don't know that, and that's why there's so much debate about this. But when you're drafting this high in a draft like this, you want to get that player. Now,
but you don't know that player exists.
That's took the words right out of my mouth. In the recent drafts here, right? We just had Dallas gets Cooper Flagg, and people seem to have no doubt about Cooper Flagg. This guy is generational, unreal. It's a slam dunk. And Victor Wembanyama, same thing. These guys are expected to win titles. They're just awesome. All of these guys are supposed to be very good, but have a flaw. Now, who knows if any of this will turn out? Cooper Flagg may never win a title.
No, I don't know that Cooper Flagg is that guy.
Do you think Cooper Flagg is DeBonsa, or do you think he's better? I mean, I'm picking DeBonsa because he's supposed to go number one in this draft, but you could go with Peterson or Boozer.
Well, right. But see,
I think he was thought of as a higher prospect than the other four, and he's expected to, maybe expected is too strong.
AJ,
because
speaking
of Cooper Flagg, because when Wembanyama is expected to. So Cooper Flagg, what's one notch under expected?
I mean, we saw, but the problem is I'm skewed with Cooper Flagg. I think he's better than any of these guys because I just saw him play in the NBA.
I get it.
I haven't seen these guys play in the NBA. He put down 50.
Yeah.
Now, he's doing it for a team with no pressure. Like Locke has talked about Keontae George. They're really, and none of these guys who have excelled from time to time with the Jazz, and even Markkanen for that matter, there's never been any NBA pressure on them in terms of what you're going to, what
Wembanyama's facing right now.
Today,
none of these other players you listed have faced anything like that.
It's a little, it's not the same. I think Flagg is better than all these kids, but that's unfair. He's already gone through it. Let's see. Can all four of these kids be better? Possibly. Let's see. And there'll come a time, I believe, Cooper Flagg, if you're that good in the NBA, you will be playing deep in the playoffs. This isn't baseball like Mike Trout in the prime of his career was essentially wasted.
Yeah.
And Ernie Banks, I don't think, ever got there. I mean, we're talking about legendary guys. Willie Mays got there early and then never really got back in his prime, and we can go on, right? But that's a different sport. That you're not pitching and there's 8 other guys and so forth. Basketball, there isn't, and so you're expected at some point. The statues and Barkley and Nash and Ewing, they can take heat for not winning it all if you want to go there, but they all got there. They all had opportunities.
Deep in the playoffs, playing the champ, depending on how it works out in either the conference final or the NBA finals, but the second best team in the league.
Yeah.
You weren't the best, but you were second best.
Which, I get it. You want to be the best, but all the knocks against those guys, all right, knock them all you want, but they still got there, and they still all had legendary careers in the league, right? And so that will come, I think, at some point for Flagg. I do think he's that talented. And I agree with Locke in terms of shooting. He's got the skill, and he's got athleticism. It looks like he's got everything he needs to be a success at the highest level. But, you got to give him time. He should have been a freshman this year. He reclassified. He didn't turn 19 until December.
Get to the pros a year early.
So let's So let's give, I would imagine in 10 years we'll look back and say, yeah, he got to a conference final. He needs some help for sure. These guys, I think they've all got that possibility, but that's just it. It's a think.
It's a possibility. It's not a probability
with
or
Flag,
a lock.
I've got more evidence, so I feel more secure.
But I think, yes, but I think even before you had that evidence, a week or two before the draft a year ago, there was more confidence in Cooper Flag's ability to get there
he was
than
the number
this
one.
four.
There's zero
If he had not reclassified and he was in this draft, I think he'd be number one.
Yeah, but you're also saying that as much as you try to put out of your mind the rookie season, you can't. And you saw.
I can. I'm mentally tough enough.
Oh, maybe
no,
you
I
are.
just think. I know what your point. But it's that there were no buts about Cooper Flag's game.
Okay.
Whereas there's a but about each of the top four this year. Now they may overcome that. Any of these guys, who's to say?
I don't think there's a but about Boozer.
Yeah, there is.
I don't think there is.
Oh, I think it's his athleticism or he'd be number
but
one.
that's not a but. Because you're Peter with Peterson, will he play? DeBonsa, will he be able to shoot well?
Exactly.
Boozer will never have the athleticism, so don't go down that line. It's not a but. He'll never have it.
I agree with that, but but he'll never have the athleticism. He shouldn't be the number one pick. Yeah, but he's so skilled he'll overcome it and lead a team to a championship anyway. That's his but.
But that isn't a but.
It is.
You're going to draft
Brunson.
him. You've already answered that question in your mind.
But Jalen Brunson, he's a short guy. He can never win a title. Well, he's going to overcome his but here in one more win. He's got 3 chances. Now, maybe he doesn't overcome it. Maybe at least 3 in a row.
And if it continues, OG will be the MVP.
Yes. And Brunson also is not the highest paid player. If he'd taken the money, would they have the talent to have these other guys? And he put himself in a better situation.
I think Boozer, that is solid. You know what you're getting. You can't say, will he do this? Will he do that? No more than any other player coming into the league that he has to prove it at the NBA level. If he does that, then that's the but. But that but is there for every single draft pick and every single draft, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 players. No, I think Flag had it too. I'm talking the all-timers.
So Wembayama then, in recent drafts. Yeah, and the all-timers you're going back to Shaq, there were no buts. Duncan, there were no buts. LeBron, there were no buts. Yeah, and look how that worked out. 4 titles, 5 titles, 4 titles. And everybody in the NBA would have taken him number one without even thinking about it.
But the overwhelming majority have a but. I don't think you can go with but with Boozer. His but is no different than every other player who's ever been drafted outside of just a few.
The hitch with Boozer here is the odds that he could be a top 15 player really good or a top 10 player really good. But if you pass on somebody who's top 5 or MVP, and because of the lack of elite athleticism, he's not predicted to get to that. That's why he isn't number one on a draft board.
You know what you're going to get, and then go surround him with other good players. And who cares if the other guy has a better individual career? If you're knocking on the doors of NBA titles multiple years and get one, great, you've won. Doesn't matter.
But how do you get that other guy? Isn't this the opportunity to do it? The number 2 pick in a loaded draft, and maybe one of these other guys is that guy. That's the debate with Boozer.
But that's no different than that's always going to be there.
Yeah, but it's for you this year because this is the year you have the pick.
Yeah, take him. And then you got Jackson and Marketing and George and the Wonderful Life. You ever see The Wonderful Life, Alex? You need to watch it, son. Okay, you got George Bailey.
You ever seen It's a Wonderful Life?
I have seen that one.
You see, pay attention. He nodded of the affirmative.
I thought you were scolding him. I didn't look up in time.
No. He went. I asked, have you seen it? And he moved his head up and down. That means yes. And they've got a George Bailey. Utah has a wonderful life at backcourt. They've got George and Bailey. You see what I done there, Al? Can I call you Al? Because, we're friends now.
You can call me Al.
Yeah. I can call him
I knew you'd
Al.
sing it. There's no doubt in my mind Paul Simon over here was going to sing that. We better take a break. DJ and PK, more of this coming up with David Locke, AJ shooting, Boozer's athleticism. Kevin O'Connor moves Boozer up to number 2 in the mock draft and slides Peterson down to number 3. Talk all about that with David Locke coming up at 8:30. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Thumbtack presents Uncertainty Strikes. I was surrounded. The aisle and the options were closing in. There were paint rollers, satin and matte finish, angle brushes, and natural bristles. There were too many choices. What if I never got my living room painted? What if I couldn't figure out what type of paint to use? What if I just used Thumbtack? I can hire a top-rated pro that knows everything about interior paint, easily compare prices, and read reviews. Thumbtack knows homes. Download the app today.
Over 2 decades of sports radio dominance in Utah. My favorite. This is DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're going to talk NBA draft with David Locke coming up at 8:30. There are other things going on, PK, including the Texas Attorney General warning the Big 12 that Texas Tech will take legal action if the Big 12 hands out sanctions. What is up with these people? Rodney says, well, the Big 12 thinks they're above the law and they don't have to obey the law. The law declared Sorsby eligible. So that's it.
Some retired judge in Texas declared him eligible. So then never appeal. Sorsby himself appealed. The law is the NCAA. They said no, so he went and found somebody who would say yes. That's the way of the law. Find somebody who will say yes. Keep going until we'll take it to the Supreme Court. How many times have we heard that?
We've heard that a time or 50,000 during our lives.
Right. And so this is all part of the deal. The Big 12 has to do something, even if it's just for show. I mean, this is so awesome, man. They just totally hijacked Big 12 Media Days. It's what it's going to be all about. And then the guys aren't going to want to ask about it, and the media is going to persist. And guys like me, this is going to be the overwhelming story. The Big 12 is getting all this run news-wise. They've got to do something, even if let them sue you. Let them come after you. Let them, the Texas Attorney General, really?
Yes.
I thought, now, if a politician wants to do, don't you have more important things to do? Don't we always hear that? Like when the guy wanted to audit the U of U, all the U of U sympathizers, don't you have more important things to do?
Yep.
Right?
It's a classic
Attorney
response.
General, don't you have more important things to do?
But it makes them popular.
Worry about, the guy's going to run for Senate and who's buddies with Cody Campbell.
And I've asked 2 people here, are there any politicians, grown-ups who are going to rein Texas Tech in? And the answer is it's the exact opposite. The answer is the Attorney General standing shoulder to shoulder with them. And you're right, future political office. Yeah. Are you going to run for Senate now? Are you going to run for governor in 4 years? Whatever it is, it elevates your profile and gives you more options.
I think this is going to damage Texas Tech. They think they're noble. I think it's going to blow up in their face. And you're going to come off as win at all costs.
And people love to argue with you when you say stuff like this, and they shouldn't, because I thought of that exact point last night. I was in between periods grazing through the headlines, and I saw multiple national writers are like, wow, the blowback from the Big Ten and SEC. At first, we should make the whole league, and now they're maybe pulling back from that. Like, why put themselves into the lawsuit and get distracted with this? They got other things to do. But nonetheless, Texas Tech making itself a pariah here.
Yeah.
Like, why do we want to work with you if you can't play well with others in the sandbox?
They're trying to position themselves. We're just helping an addicted young boy. We are benevolent.
You're going to be a pain in the butt, and we don't want to work with you.
We are trying to win football games at all costs. Whatever it is, we're going to spin it. He didn't murder somebody. You're going to just do okay.
But
he broke the gambling rule. Right. Everybody knows you're not supposed to do that. He did it. And as I was saying earlier, it's an addiction. It's addiction. But he's never going to do it again. Well, if it's an addiction, it's an addiction. How do you know he's never going to do it again?
I'm talking to people who worked with addiction.
Of course.
It just looms out there. It's a gray cloud. It might be a little more in the distance. It might be right over you.
You never know. And we've put parental guidelines on our phone. And then his parents called, and they weren't worried about his son right there. They wanted to make sure we were okay. And we said, yes, we'll take care of your boy.
And the question looms.
Listen to the whole thing.
And the question looms. I think it was Matt Brown who brought it up with us yesterday. If this were a second-string guard, would Texas Tech be putting themselves in the middle of this firestorm?
Or if it was somebody from another school. They would be one of the 15 saying he can't play.
If this had happened at Baylor or at ASU
Whatever.
or West Virginia or whoever, pick anybody else.
BYU.
Utah. Get the locals in there. They'd be one of the 15. They wouldn't be the one.
Right. Yeah. You want to just say, guys, he gives us the best chance to beat Houston. We're playing him. You don't like it? Hey, right here. And leave it at that, because that's what you're saying. And whatever you say, that's the message that everyone is taking.
That's all anyone's hearing.
So say it. Winning on one. And Cody, we need more money. How much you need?
Join Scotty and the coach Monday the 15th in Nephi. They're going to be at Bar Dub Grill off exit 222 in Nephi. They'll be doing their show live on location from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Stay with us.
That sound could mean a lot of things. And when something's going wrong at home, the hardest part can be figuring out what the problem actually is. At Thumbtack, you can upload a voice message or a photo, and our AI-powered search will help diagnose your project. Plus, the pros we know have over 14 million 5-star reviews, so you can hire with confidence. Thumbtack, we know homes. Hire the right pro today.
Big color, bigger savings. Sherwin-Williams Super Sale is here. Get 40% off paints and stains June 5th through the 11th with prices starting at $30.89. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.